The other thing I noticed about bringing this up onto the screen, Paul, have you seen this before? This is new to me. And I have to say, actually, looking at this whole screen here, it is a vignette of the crazy times we're living in. So there's a village you can buy for 1.7 million. There is chair yoga for seniors. Whoever thought we'd see that in our lifetime? There is Portugal approves the burqa ban, and Nicole Kidman set to join Celebrity Enclave in Hamptons of Portugal. And the nationality law might change. Your rights shouldn't. Join us now and act to protect those already in process. Keep the promise.pt. Have you seen this before? I haven't.
No, there've been a load of agencies popping up around the nationality laws that seem to have gone through Parliament.
Wow. Yeah,
all offering help and support, but none of which are able to fast track you to an appointment with AIMA. So
there you are, straight to the heart of the matter again. That's the truth of it, isn't it? You know, this you would think is good business for legal companies, and here it is. I've never seen this before. This is brand new on your screen. Keep the promise.pt, and this is all about the proposed changes, which the president is about to rubber stamp. He might throw it out to the Constitutional Court, but nobody, even those working in the law, have an advantage when it comes to processing. They're up against the same barriers as you, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And I was slightly well, what can I say? Insert adjective here, to see the minister in charge of AIMA saying how wonderful it's been, and their processing numbers are well up on the same period last year, and they're doing a bit of a blame the last lot. You know, we inherited 400,000 backlog and all that.
Familiar pattern.
The government has failed to properly to resource the machine that processes such applications. On the one side, you've got the government saying we need more immigrants. Now they have to be the right sort of immigrants, and now they're making it quite hard, not only for people that are here already that want permanent residency, but incomers who are looking at a range of countries.
Yes.
In which to live. So you've got one side of the government promoting Portugal as a fantastic lifestyle, etc. And the other side of it saying, yeah, well, we can't really help you with that, or we can't reply, or the website's down, or you just have to wait your turn. And people are not prepared to do it. And all the government's got to do is look at the blogs and the complaints and the people in desperation, because they can't travel. The travel restrictions on people waiting for permanent residency are severe. They've just extended. There's all the people that got in under the Brexit deal, and they've had another 2 years added to their temporary residency before and now it's up to 7 or 10. I mean, the whole thing is a complete jumble. I mean, the fact I can't explain it correctly means that for somebody researching whether to move here or not is going to look at it. What is going on? I mean,
well, yes, and there's a sort of elastic part, isn't there? The I suppose the worthwhileness part of the Venn diagram. It is a good proposition to come here. I still believe that. And then you have to overlay how much trouble is it to get here. And there's the overlap, it can get smaller and smaller. And people aren't going to, if they don't know what it's like here and they're only going on the videos and their sense of it from a holiday, and then another offer comes up from Moldova or somebody who's going to pay you to move to their country because they actually really want people to go there. The people aren't going to just give themselves extra inconvenience, are they, for some possible return? I don't think. But the government doesn't think in that way. No government does it? I don't think.
Well, and it should do, and it's the international reputation of frequent change. And you look at Portugal more recently, the golden visa, frequent change, NHR shut down for completely political reasons, as was the NHR stopping property investment where most people, 90% of people were buying something for over 500 grand, then moving into it or letting it, the same effect. It's still economically generative. And then for political reasons, oh, well, we're not doing property anymore. It's pushing up property prices. It's such nonsense.
It is, isn't it? It is. It is.
It's nonsense. And the reason there's a property crisis is the government isn't enabling enough houses to be built.
Yep.
The ones that are being built, as I've said many times, the builders are going for their own profitability and building houses in the mid to higher range. Why would they build?
As they would.
Why would they build council houses? That's up to the state to do that. And they've resolutely refused to do it for generation after generation. And then cutting a perfectly good incoming investment scheme that brought billions into the country on political grounds to satisfy Katerina Martins, basically, was nonsensical. And the government has done it before. Even Socrates, if you remember him, stop the overseas, the benefits of owning your villa through an overseas company. Stopped it overnight. Cost a swathe of residents tens of thousands of euros because they had to transfer their own property into their own name. So they didn't move house. They just had to send off a tax bill, the tax amount, and just changed it overnight. So it's a complete change of the rules. People saying, oh, it was a tax dodge. No, it wasn't. There were leaflets in high street banks pushing this.
Yes.
It was welcomed by the government as a way of getting inbound investment. And that same thing has continued throughout, is we'll draw people in, and then if we start getting asked questions in Parliament, things aren't going well and we need to do a deal, we'll shut it.
Well, that does seem to be the curve, doesn't it? It's like when I'm on the way up as a politician, I will approve these cash generating systems because they look quite good on the balance sheet.
Yeah.
Then later on in the administration, when there's a lot more political heat and I've got my eye on a job elsewhere in Europe, it's not so important anymore, is it? And that seems to be quite a well-known formula here.
Yeah, and people do look. If you look at the exit of the wealthy and the middle classes from the United Kingdom, and those planning to move should the budget hit them where they are pretty sure it's going to hit them, they are looking. Many people are looking at where to live next.
Yes.
And you see what places like Dubai are doing. I mean, every third ad I see is for move to Dubai.
Yes.
The tax advantages, the flight times, the hospital, this, that, and the other. Actually, for something stuck in the middle of a desert, I've never been there, actually. Fiscally looks far more attractive than moving here and going through this pain of not being able to get appointments, of websites that don't work, of helplines that are permanently engaged. It's just...
Yes,
it's not good. Many would prefer to stay within the EU for good reason.
These are flexible things as well, aren't they, Paul? It's it's not like some sort of act of God that is preventing these things. This is an act of poor management. And
it is.
Yeah.
And you look at Portugal promoting itself as the sort of IT mecca. And yes, Microsoft are spending billions in Scenish and everything's going swimmingly. And you look at some of the government systems, there's very little use of AI that they claim to want to be the world's leading authority.
That's true. Yes, it's like forked tongue, isn't it? On the one hand, we're going to lead the way in AI, but we can't reduce queues for administrative procedures, which you'd think would be an ideal use case, would you not?
Yeah, absolutely, and an immediate translation, and it's extraordinary. It's even down to the Finance's website. The Finance, I must say, the website is comprehensive.
Yes,
but most of it is in one language.
Hmm.
And you think now, why not have it in a load of languages, and then people wouldn't have to pester their accountants with so many facile questions and make it easy.
Doable. I mean, again, this is one of the great promises of AI. That should be done. I mean, I was on the Vodafone website. It's quite a moan fest this morning, isn't it? But I'm quite enjoying it, I have to say. I was on the Vodafone website and I tried to ask a question of Toby, the robot. Sorry, we don't do English yet. And okay, fair enough. It's awkward when you're talking to a Vodafone representative who, if it's not in the English speaking department, because I think there's a preferential department, it's awkward and difficult. And we all want to speak more Portuguese, and some of us do and we don't. But Then there's the automated part, which you think would be really easy to be able to ask questions in any language
Yeah.
whatsoever, because those are just pattern recognitions, aren't they? And easily implemented with the right allocation of resources and effort and consciousness of the company, really. But we shall see. These are, again, part of the crazy times we're living in. Apparently, Paul, you can write to the president using this website that I've just discovered this very morning. There we were considering buying a village, and suddenly we're now writing to the president. And this is the suggestion of keep the promise. I don't know who's behind this, and there isn't a photograph of somebody saying, "Hello, my name's William Batchworthy MBE, and I've got a message for you." I don't know who this is. It might be a few law firms who've got together. The letter to the president, Your Excellency, President of the Republic. This is a correct way to approach him. Apparently, I am writing to respectfully request that you consider submitting to the Constitutional Court for preventive review the law that changes the nationality law. Yes, the law that changes the nationality law regarding the residence period for naturalization. And on it goes, and it's in English as well. So you might want to translate that too if you're writing to the president of Portugal. But there you go. Something is afoot here. And I don't know if this is going to be leading to a big, tasty class action for a number of law firms. Do you think that's what the game plan might be for this?
I mean, I think it's good to have these sort of ways of complaining, and the presidency will change soon anyway. But that doesn't matter. It's not the person; it's the position. Indeed. No, I think they're good. I mean, there are petitions, as you know. There's the public petition website as well, that gets various levels of support.
Yes.
Let me put it that way. But,
yes.
Some of which are really hot topics, and they get sort of 2,000 people sign up, and others that are insane. Anything to do with animals gets tens of thousands. So it's
indeed,
quite
interesting.
But no, the complaint. I mean, I've complained to the Justice Ministry often and get very polite replies and very clear replies from the minister or the minister's office.
You do.
So a petition to the president, I'm sure, will be looked at, if hopefully not just as an annoyance, but at least will flag up the issue.
Yes, well, incredible times we're living in. These are symptoms, I think, of underlying problems, but let's see what happens. Do you think the president will receive anything by January, says Pete? It took him 2 weeks to get the bill, and whatever his decision, a two-thirds majority overrules them. I think that's about right, isn't it, there with how the process works? But that is, for many people, a last hope, how it might be put to the Constitutional Court, the unfairness that's being highlighted in this Keep the Promise website that we've discovered this very morning, and not even had a chance to talk about Central Portugal